Hello, fellow seekers. I hope everyone's doing well. Some of y'all may have already heard the news, but I thought if you hadn't, I would share with you in the continuing saga of Sarah Suitcase Boone, who was just in court with attorney number 8, Patricia Cashman. And let's face it, we knew Patricia was trying to get the hell out of there. And there was Sarah just wanting her to be nice to her, be gentle. And she had her 58-page letter for the judge. So now Patricia has officially filed a motion to withdraw as counsel. And I'm just going to kind of move it along for y'all to see. So that was on July the 11th. Let me see if I can get this a little bit bigger. So it says, Defense Counsel Patricia A. Cashman, Esquire, respectfully moves this honorable court to enter its order allowing said defense counsel to withdraw from further representation in the above-styled case. As grounds, therefore, defense counsel would state as follows. Number 1, just moving it down. Sorry, I gotta move it over. There we go. The defendant is charged in the above-styled cause with second-degree murder. The undersigned counsel was appointed to represent Sarah Boone on February 9th, 2024. Number 2, trial is currently set for October 7th, 2024, which will allow new counsel time to prepare for said trial. And then number 3, it's saying Florida rule regulating the Florida bar, 4- legal mumbo jumbo. 7B, it says conflict of interest, current client states. And A, under number 3, is representing adverse interests, except as provided in subdivision. B, a lawyer must not represent a client if, number 2, there is a substantial risk that the representation of one or more clients will be materially limited by the lawyer's responsibilities to another client, a former client, or a third person, or by a personal interest of the lawyer. Number 4, irreconcilable differences, including but not limited to ethical considerations, have arisen such that counsel can no longer provide representation. Okay, I'm going to move to the next page. It's not very long. What is there to say, really, right? So just bear with me. I'm going to move this up. Wherefore, the defense counsel, Patricia A. Cashman, Esquire, respectfully request this honorable court to enter its order allowing defense counsel to withdraw from further, I think it's going to say representation. Yeah. Further representation in the above-styled cause. I keep wanting to say case, but I guess it's cause. And there's the certificate of service signed by Patricia A. Cashman. Now, none of us are surprised. I know they were having some experts talk on, Court TV. And, it's the same thing everyone's been saying. At this point, what is the judge? I mean, the judge needs to take Sarah, and shake her senseless. Although I know he can't do that, but I'm thinking in his mind, he would like to do that like all of us would do. I mean, she's just dragging this out. I think, I know y'all tell me, I think that, I don't know what choice she's going to have but to represent herself. I mean, attorney number 9, and Sarah's going to probably say, But I didn't say I wanted her to leave. I just wanted her to be nice. But Sarah isn't being nice. As I said, Sarah, the person who zipped her boyfriend in a suitcase and left him, is wanting somebody to be nice to her. Do y'all see the irony in that? I think that it'll be interesting to see what happens. I wonder if the court date is going to have to be moved again, or if they're going to get another attorney that will have ample time to prepare for the trial that's supposed to start in October, or they're going to say, you know, Sarah, you're just going to have to represent your own damn self. I mean, let's face it. She's always correcting everybody. She's taking her copious notes and letters and all of this stuff. She may as well. I just don't know. I mean, how much longer is this going to draw out? This is crazy. I mean, and poor George's family are probably wondering, when the heck are they going to get justice for him? That is some crazy stuff.
Kinsey Schofield, this is a case in the true crime community, as you know, that has everybody talking. Your thoughts on when enough is going to be enough and when we're just going to get to trial with this lady?
Oh, I mean, I'd have to call a psychic. I'd have to call Miss Cleo. She is so wildly spontaneous. It does feel like she's just trying to stall and just trying to create as many problems as she can because she doesn't want to have to face reality. I also think she's just a very difficult person to get along with. But you're right. Everybody is like, when is this going to trial? They're ready to follow along, and they're eager to see this, to see some movement here. So, I mean, your guess is as good as mine, girlfriend.
I know, Kinsey. I like what you said, get a psychic involved. And Franz, let me go to you. Regarding the judge, is it time that maybe the judge says, you know what, Ms. Boone, all of these lawyers, all 8 of them, can't be that bad. Perhaps the problem is you.
So what the angle is, and what's inevitably going to happen, is she's going to represent herself. That's the angle we're approaching, because here's the thing. If you don't get along with one indigent defense attorney, that happens, right? That's a thing. It's not necessarily Burger King where it's your way right away, but that does occasionally happen. So it does smell like we're approaching, she's going to have to represent herself or accept what she gets. And look, the bigger issue is this: play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And I feel like she is at the big roulette wheel playing the biggest stupid game ever. She's had attorneys that are very capable who absolutely would have fought for her, and she has time and time again hurt herself by not having them. And now finally we're getting to the point where this attorney is like, I can't represent her. So I think she's going to end up representing herself.
Right. I think you're right, Franz. I think at this point, if I was that judge, I know what I would do. I would say, enough, Miss Boone. You're not satisfied with anyone. We're not wasting any more time. Since you think you know better than everybody else, you represent yourself, and let's see how that goes. I think you're right, Franz. I think you're right. Detective Alcazar, let's talk a little bit about, the facts of this case. She created the best piece of evidence for the state of Florida by filming that, by taunting her boyfriend. It was so sick and sinister, that video we've seen around the world. I don't know what she wants from these attorneys. Does she think like they're going to be magicians and just make that piece of video vanish?
I wouldn't want to be the attorney in this case. The evidence is there. She filmed herself. It's all over social media. It's all over the news. It's a clear-cut case, and she's going to be found guilty. And like your other guest said, I think it's just a stall tactic, or maybe she's hoping for a mistrial. I don't know, but it's not looking good for her.
No, not at all. She is just, in my view, she seems impossible. I think all of those attorneys deserve medals for tolerating her for the time that they did, and they tried their very best to give her the best defense under the law.
He is a criminal defense attorney in Florida. He does not have cotton mouth, so he is going to speak with me about this. Good to see you again, Mark. Thank you for doing the show. I just wanted to get your reaction. Have you ever heard of anybody spinning through, well, 7 and now maybe 8, who knows, before they're actually going on a murder case?
Hey, Ashley. I think this may be a Guinness Book record.
Bizarre.
You sometimes see it in private cases, not as many as this, but when people can afford it, they often are looking for a lawyer who tells them what they want to hear. In this particular case, I've looked through some of the lawyers that represent her, and some are excellent lawyers. Patricia Cashman is an excellent lawyer. I've been doing this a long time. But you can't put up with the client's nonsense. And I think it sounds like people have been telling her what she's looking at, what the facts are, the evidence are against her, and she doesn't want to hear
Maybe they're saying, girl, you have a plea bargain and not much else. So, and she doesn't want to hear it, possibly. So I want to read what Sarah Boone told the judge on Friday. This is a quote. Everyone constantly blames me. Why I am now on attorney number 8, I am not the reason for any of them. At what point, Mark, does a judge have to force a lawyer to stay on the case? Because I have seen it before, and I've always been shocked. But at what point does a judge have to say, you have no choice, you have to defend this woman?
it really becomes a challenge at times, simply because if a lawyer cannot provide effective assistance of counsel, they have an ethical obligation to get out of the case if they do not believe they can render the type of representation that all defendants are entitled to. In this particular case, and lawyers are allowed to fire their clients. I fired many. You have to be able to control the case, not let the case control you. And she's likely not wanting to hear what people have to tell her. She's in a difficult position. If she takes a stand, then this personality that we've all seen is not going to be the most endearing and great likelihood to a jury. On the other hand, if she doesn't take the stand, what the jury's going to hear is this horrific tape and hear her voice, and that'll be all that they hear about her, taunting her deceased boyfriend, who was, scratching and clawing his way trying to get out of the suitcase.
It makes my stomach turn when I see the tape, and if I were a juror, I would hate her immediately before anybody did a closing summation. So, real quickly, what do you see? And I know you're not inside the entire case, you don't have all but we sure have a mountain of it. We've seen a lot. Do you think, Mark James, in your estimation, that her only shot here is a plea?
Depends on what the plea is. You're looking at 25 years. You're looking at 30 years with a minimum of 16 years and 3/4, I believe, in Florida on second-degree murder. So if she's getting anything less than 30 years and somewhere between 16 and 3/4, she needs to seriously think about that. I suspect that's what her lawyers have told her, that you might want to work out a plea here, because it does not seem to be a lot of sympathy that's going to attach to her, and she doesn't want to hear the fact that she's looking at a 30-year sentence if she goes to trial. And the jurors hear this really horrific statements and comments that she was making about her dying boyfriend.
There is a reason why I have stuck with you for over 20 years, since Casey Anthony. It's because you're smart and you're great at this, and you're not on the show enough. So I'm going to book you again, and I hope you'll say yes.
Yeah, so I decided I want to jump around to different news stations to just see what lawyers or experts, or whatever you want to call them, what they're saying about Sarah and her chances of either representing herself or getting an attorney that the judge says you have to stay. So I don't know, it looks like it's a little split. This fellow here is saying that, he's fired clients before, but I have seen where judges have made the attorney say, hey, you've got to stay with them. But I don't know, Sarah is difficult. And this was actually recorded before we heard the latest, but it doesn't matter. They're assuming anyhow that probably she's going to have to get another attorney or whatever, represent herself. I don't know, it's crazy. I just wanted to get a little idea of what other people were saying, and who knows. This is a crazy, Looney Boone. I guess people don't call her Looney Boone for no reason, do they? Well, all right, that's it for now. I'm going to end with, I think it's about 40 seconds, the clip of her saying about, I just want you to tell the attorney to please be nice to me. That just cracks me up. I'll probably use this clip now at the end of every Sarah Boone video I do. But anyhow, all right. Hope y'all are doing great. I love you. Thank you as always for everything. Be kind to one another. Be kind to you. I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Why I'm here is to hope that she will come in with a gentle, softer side and actually listen to what it is that I'm saying and see the bigger picture other than what's the one avenue that she keeps going down. There's other ways to win and more than one way. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not saying that I'm trying to remove her. I'm just trying to ask you, please, forgive me for having to ask you for this. If you could please let her know, please, to just be nice to me.